Janet's giving me 2 thumbs up and says we're good to go. Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the 2-week millionaire. Or those guys that come to the Philippines on vacation and they spend and they spend. And they spend a lot of money and they hook up with girls. And I'm going to tell you the story of Andrew. Now, when Janet and I were spending a lot of time up in Cebu, we met Andrew. He was in Building 1 of Solonea Towers. And just before Thanksgiving, I met him. We were both down by the pool. It started to drizzle a little bit, and we walked underneath the cover of the lounging area there in the clubhouse. And I started talking to him. He was 79 years old, going to be 80 in a few months. And he had 2 women with him at the pool. They were both young. They were beautiful. I asked him, were those his nieces or girlfriends or wives? He goes, no, they were just friends. I go, well, where's your wife? And, you know, like all Filipinos ask, and foreigners, you know, I'm so nosy. He said, I'm not married. I'm here on vacation. And these 2 are my tour guides. And he called them their tour guides. And I go, where did you meet them? And he goes, I met them online last year. And he's been talking to them and enjoying their company. One lives in Lapu-Lapu, and the other girl lived in Karkar. And when he came to the Philippines, he rented a place here for 4 months. And it was in Building 1, Solonea. It was a 1-bedroom unit. And he asked one of the girls to come in and join him. The other girl showed up. You know, probably through conversations, he told her that he was coming to Cebu also. Both girls ended up showing up. And he invited both of them to stay, and they stayed with him. And I asked him, I go, is this a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship? Is this just a dating thing? And I really got nosy. I said, is sex involved? And he goes, no sex. They're my guides. I pay them to show me around. And that was it. The conversation ended. He met, you know, the girls were done in the pool. The rain stopped, and they went on their way. And I didn't run into him again until around Christmas time when Janet and I were up in Cebu with PJ. And again, I saw him at the pool, and I go, hey, buddy, how you been? Great. I asked him what's he been up to. He went to Alona Beach. He told me what a beautiful beach it was, what a great time he had, how much fun he had at Alona Beach. He said they took a tour up to Chocolate Hills, and they saw the monkeys with big eyes. What do you call those, Janet?
Tertiary.
He saw the tertiary, and you know, just had a great time. But now they're back in Cebu. First I asked him, are the 2 girls still with you? And he goes, yes, they're both here. They're upstairs. I go, are you paying them a daily rate, or is this they just coming along and enjoying themselves? He goes, no, I'm giving them money all the time. I'm paying the hotel bill. I'm buying the food, I'm paying the transportation, I'm paying everything. And I'm sitting back, and just like you guys are going to be thinking, wow, man, you're being taken for a lot of money here by these girls. A couple young girls, and you're an old guy, and no sex is involved, neither one's your girlfriend. You're just being taken for the ride. So that conversation sort of ended. I saw him again in January when Janet and I were up there. We were up there for Sinulog. The curiosity got the best of me. And I said, Andrew, let's go have lunch. So we went out and we had lunch, and I'm talking to him about this whole experience. And I asked if I could put him on camera, and he said no. There's no way he was going to get on camera. But what it was, he has these 2 girls, and he was spending about 10,000 USD a month with these 2 girls on the traveling and going places and pocket money for the girls and helping them out and just having a great time. And I said to him, man, you know, it sounds like you're being taken a little bit here. He goes, Mike, I'm having the time of my life. Money is no object. I'm enjoying my life here. This is the most fun I've ever had in my life. So that gets me to the point of 2-week millionaires. When you come here, enjoy your vacation. Don't let anybody judge what you spend. I have no idea how much money Andrew has in the bank. Andrew could have $30 million in there and he's spending $30,000. You know, we have no clue at how much money someone has or how important happiness is. Now, I know everybody that comes here for their vacation, they're not going to spend that kind of money. Probably going to spend like, you know, $1,000 a week while they're enjoying the sights and sounds of the Philippines. But it just goes to show you, enjoy your life. Don't worry about what others think. Even if you know you're overpaying for the company, the tour guide, he wants to call it. I asked him about the sleeping arrangements. They cuddle together. There's no sex. Take that for what it's worth. Now, Andrew's vacation ended just a few weeks ago. I chatted him and he said, I'm headed back home. And I said to him, how good was this vacation of yours? And again, he could not say enough how this was the best time of his life. You know, having pretty women around him, going different places that he's never seen before, just saw pictures on YouTube or fantasized about going to these islands and traveling around the Philippines, island hopping, just doing so many different things that I don't even do. And I live here now. So a 2-week millionaire, 2-week millionaire. When you come here on vacation, enjoy your life. Don't judge people. If you're living here, don't judge people. Don't judge people who just get off the boat and you see them in the coffee shop or you see them in a restaurant or you see them at Island Mall hanging out with girls that you know have been with different guys at different points of time. This guy is here on vacation. This guy is trying to enjoy himself. And don't pop his bubble. Don't ruin the vacation for him. You know, it'd be more like you're being snobbish, saying you shouldn't enjoy yourself that way. You shouldn't be having escorts or tour guides that are female, that are sleeping with you, and you're taking care of them financially, and you're spending a lot of money on them, and they're pocketing a lot of that money. But as I said, he had the time of his life. And I know when I came to the Philippines for vacation, I had a wife with me back then. And I was escorted around by her brothers and her one brother and a cousin. They drove me everywhere. They were always with me. They said it was a bodyguard, but you know, it's more like an escort to make sure you stayed out of trouble, you didn't do nothing wrong. And you know, they would report back to the wife what I did. So to have the ability and the finances and the time to come to the Philippines, or any country that matter, it could be South America, Thailand, wherever you go, and you have the money and you have the desire, enjoy your life. If there's one thing you can get out of this video is make sure you enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, enjoy your money. Remember, you cannot take this money with you. When you finally die, you know, and you're in the hearse and they're taking you to the cemetery, there's not a Brinks truck behind you following you with all your money so you can take it to heaven with you. You can't take this money with you. And just because Andrew overspent, and Andrew overspent because he had money. He did not look like a man that was worried about money, but he was worried about his time. He only had so much time left on this earth, being 79 years old. And he wanted to see things and do things. And here's a guy, he gets off the plane, he checks into where he's living. One beautiful girl shows up, and then a second beautiful girl shows up. And everywhere he goes, he has the company of 2 beautiful women. Neither one being his girlfriend, but they're both there to take care of him, show him a great time. And you sort of got envious of him after a while, talking about what they did and where they went. You know, the island hopping sounded like a lot of fun. Going to Boracay is something that I really wish to do someday in the future and see a beautiful, beautiful white sand beach. But he did all this. Money was not an object, and he enjoyed himself. A lot of people are going to say Andrew was scammed. These girls were sucking him dry, man. They were just taking every nickel, every dime he had. Well, I don't think they could have taken every nickel and dime he had. And I also asked him, I said, does your family know you're doing this? And he goes, I really don't want my family to know. And I said, you came here and no one knows you're here? He goes, I told my oldest son that I was coming to the Philippines. And he has my contact information. But the rest of the family, I didn't tell them what I'm doing. And I'm definitely not telling my son what I did. So he was prepared with the family, that they knew where he was at, that he was safe. You know, he told me he checked in with the embassy when he got here. He had no issues with the banking system here. He knew how to transfer his money. You know, he had all his documents. He had his passport proper. He had credit cards and debit cards. This guy knew what he was doing. And he was here for, I don't know if it was his last hurrah, but it was a good hurrah. Now, there's other 2-week millionaires that come to town. And they're cheap Charlies. They might have a lot of money, but man, they're worried every place they go, everybody's trying to rip them off. Every place they go to eat, they're getting the skin tax. Every time they buy something, they're getting the skin tax. And there's just something about their psyche that they don't want to pay extra. They don't want to pay more than anybody else pays, which is a fair thing to think. But when you're on vacation, you're going to overpay for the cab ride. You know, you don't know the shortest route on a cab. You're going to get into a cab without a meter. It's going to be raining. You're going to say, just get me to my hotel, and you're going to overpay. You're going to overtip without even knowing that you're overtipping. And the advantage Andrew had is he had 2 Filipinas with him who made sure he was paying the proper amount. Now, money didn't matter, but by having an escort or a girlfriend with him, he didn't have to worry about these little issues. And some of us, when we travel, those little issues are big issues. You know, a lot of guys leave me comments about the skin tax and getting ripped off by a cab driver. It's hard for me to believe that you'd get upset if you got overcharged by 300 pesos on a cab ride. That's $6. The cab you took to the airport in the U.S. cost you far more than that. Far, far more. So you get good deals here. Don't worry about overpaying in the tourist areas, because that's just what's going to happen in the tourist area. That's just life in Boracay and Alona Beach and, you know, at Ayala Mall, and if you're at El Corso, these places are more expensive than the average place. Now, a lot of guys are going to ask me, what do you think is the amount of money you should have when you come on vacation into the Philippines so you're not a 2-week millionaire? I'm a firm believer, if you're on vacation and you're coming for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I would bring $1,000 per week. You know, there's no way you're going to spend $200 per day if you book ahead your hotels, where you're going to stay. And remember, don't make too big a commitment to where you're staying. You might get into a hotel or an Airbnb that you don't like and you don't want to stay there too long. But pre-book these things, pre-book your flights, sort of try and make a schedule of where you're going if you want to keep your costs down. Or just play it by ear. Get off the airplane, check into your first hotel, and then decide where you're going to go the next day or the next week. You know, you might meet somebody online, you might meet someone in person, you want to check out their hometown. Stay flexible when you come here on a vacation. And again, I'm saying there's no way you can spend 200 US a day when you're here in the Philippines, even if you're eating at high-end restaurants and coffee shops and staying at a top hotel. The hotel might be expensive, so prepay those. Don't be afraid of public transportation. If you're in Cebu or Manila or a larger city that has taxi service, take the taxi. Don't be afraid to take a Grab. You know, sign up for the Grab app once you're here in the Philippines. It's a lot cheaper and a lot more dependable than standing on the street corner when it's raining and trying to wave down a cab. And when I met Andrew at the pool the first time, and I saw these 2 beautiful women that were with him, I was just amazed how pretty the women are. And I asked them how old they are. And the women, one was in her 30s, Janet's age. The other one was 24. But in February, when Janet and I went up to close out the condo, I met Andrew. And he was getting ready to call it quits. He was done with his vacation, leaving sometime in March. He was going to make one more stop. I think he was going to Thailand for 2 weeks to visit a friend he met online, girl or boy, I don't know. But his stay in the Philippines was coming to an end. And we sat down and we talked about all this, how much money he spent, how much money did the girls put in their pocket. He said he gave them each 10,000 pesos a week. Not too bad, maybe 400, 500 US for their escorting services. But he also took care of some other stuff. He bought the one girl a motorbike. I think it was a Honda Click 125. It was 86,000 pesos he told me he paid. And the other girl, she didn't want the motorbike, but he gave her the cash, equal amount of cash. But that just goes to show you money is different for everybody. Everybody has a different sense of how much is a lot of money, and it's his charity. He wanted to help these girls because they took good care of him. And again, I'll leave it with this. Andrew had the time of his life. You know, for all the years he's been working, I don't know about his marital relationships or his family relationships, but man, he came to the Philippines, and for 3 or 4 months, he had one hell of a time. He had great company. He was the envy of all men around the pool with these two girls. And he was a 2-week millionaire that stretched it out over a 3 or 4 month period. Andrew, when I first met him, I felt sorry for him. I thought he was being taken to the cleaners by these two girls. But at the end, when I talked to him in February and went over every bit of the story and how happy he was, I was envious of him. I was so happy that he was able to enjoy his vacation, enjoy his time, and had the time of his life. You should have seen the smile on his face when he was telling me the things he did. And every time I hinted around about the sleeping arrangements, he would just laugh and giggle. So you know something was going on there. He was having a great time. So when you come here to the Philippines for a vacation, be it a 2-week millionaire or a boots on the ground, check it out. Careful how you spend your money, but enjoy yourself. Have a great time. It's the Philippines. Don't let time be of any pressure to you. Remember, Philippine time is you get there when you get there. Enjoy your life, enjoy your retirement, and be happy. Until next time.